Namaste everyone. Honorable Pro-Chancellor of Allen College of Technology, faculty and dear students, and also our sisters and brothers. It is heartening to see such young blood taking interest in spirituality. Foundation, when it is stronger, it is bound to reach heights. If the very foundation is weak, you cannot build a gigantic structure. You can never achieve greatness on weak foundation. What is the weak foundation and a strong foundation in human beings? What stands tall always, transcending history, is your character and your moral fabric. If you don't have this, whether you are born or dead makes no difference. You will live like any other animal who has no sense. Perhaps they have more sense. Why blame animals? They know no better, but human beings, we know what goes on. We have seen time and again what happens to our room when we don't keep it tidy. You don't make your bed, you don't clean your, pillowcase. You don't keep your clothes in order. What happens to that room? One book here, another book there. Your shoes are somewhere, your socks are somewhere, your towel is hanging somewhere. Your room starts stinking. Even your friends will criticize you. What sort of a room are you having? It requires efforts to keep anything in order. Some of the students have got an idea already what I'm hinting at. I'm talking of entropy. Entropy means rate at which something degrades. To keep anything in order, you need some level of effort. In order to maintain our spiritual so-called vibrations or spiritual field intact without being damaged, then some level of effort is definitely required. In order to make our mental dimension also stronger, we need to have some input that can keep that mental dimension stronger. For physical, I have to exercise, I have to jog, I have to eat right food, I have to eat it in right time. Then physical body can be maintained at every level. Energy input is a must, without which we will decay. That is entropy. Now when it comes to the universe, we say this input of energy is always from the outside. The resistance that we are building against our muscles is also outside. When you go to gym, for example, and you use some gadgets, some machines to help your muscles develop, that resistance is from outside, against which we are working your muscles, making them stronger. Similarly, mental challenges. When you have a watch, it runs either on battery or it may be automatic, or it may be having a winding key there, see. But energy input is a must. Now, compare that watch with the universe. Who started this? Where from energy input is there? Or it's continuously pouring in so that Earth is not getting out of the spin of its orbit and moving away from the sun. Or the sun is also not moving out of its orbit within the galaxy. And the galaxy itself also not going out of its spin and destroying itself in the process. What is that power? What is that energy that is keeping this universe intact and going? Even 1 inch of orbital change of the Earth can change the weather on this planet tremendously. If Earth moves even 1 kilometer up or down, life can become impossible to stay on this planet. So you see, with what adjustment life has been supported on this planet and many other planets of which we are not aware. What is that force that supports it? I'm not talking of God. I'm just simply talking of a force or energy. Our ancestors, sages and saints gave a name, God. Okay, but have we become wiser just by giving a name? Not at all. But scientific mind would certainly say that there is some force. Now, if there is a force that maintains this universe, is it within this universe or outside? And if that force is outside this universe, what is that force? Why is it not part of this universe? So many questions baffles us. Do I have answers? Yes and no. My answers will not help you. But I would like you to realize the truth in your lifetime and see for yourself what is it that supports this universe. Likewise, we have this body, physical body, with which through these 5 senses we are able to navigate in our life. If anything bitter, we say, no, I don't like this. If anything sweet, you might get attracted. Good looking faces, there is attraction. Bad looking, oh no, I don't want to even look at that. So these are senses that either protects you or destroys you, depending on our choices. Now, these senses are also having the centers in our brain. If the particular nerve, optic nerve or auditory nerve, is destroyed, destroyed, what happens? Your eyes may be completely intact. Your nerves going to that center may be perfectly connected. But if that center, the cells within the neural network of the brain is destroyed, you cannot see. And what is it that supports the brain? What is it that supports the consciousness? This is the topic of yoga. See? Science can go so far and not after that. See? Because things that moves after consciousness is beyond the realms of instrumentation. Instrumentation can say this is a delta wave or theta wave of consciousness. But what is it that supports these waves of consciousness in our brain? We can perceive all these things in our meditations or when we remain meditative, meaning when we remain completely silent within ourselves and perceive things. So I'm happy to see we have very young explorers who are trying to voyage through this field of yoga and trying to arrive, finding the truth behind the universe or the individual existence. I would also like to share with you something very practical. You guys are too young to have witnessed a new baby being born. But you can see it in the movies, on YouTube. As soon as the baby is released from mother's womb, baby starts crying. It's a sign. Crying is a sign that baby is alive. If baby doesn't cry, then doctors worry. Doctors, they tilt the body and try to stimulate the breath or the heart. They tilt the body and tap it on the back. And still baby doesn't cry. It's a still baby. Means there is no force. There is no life force in the baby. Without that life force, the whole family will cry. Mothers too. And such a powerful source is within us. And it remains with us until the last breath. We call such an entity as Atman. Doesn't matter what name we give. In English they call it soul. In Urdu we call it Ruh. Some call it Jiva. It hardly matters what we call that particular force, but it's within me. It's within each of us, your individual soul. This soul is not in the temples. It's not in the Dwarka. It's not in Kashi or Kedar, or it's not in what we call Kaaba or Jerusalem. It's within us. Even to go to such places, you will need the cooperation of this inner deity, your life force. Must I look for it outside? You answered this question yourself. And that's why in Hinduism, they call it as Antaryamin, one who dwells within. You try to look for it outside, what happens? Your mother is in the house and you keep looking for mother outside, or your friend is inside the room and you keep looking for your friend outside the room. People will say you've gone mad. Same thing is happening. The realized soul don't say blatantly to you that you are a foolish person running around here and there looking for God. In that case, God is not lost, you are lost. Because something that is within, you are trying to look for it outside. And you can never find peace or happiness searching with such understanding. It's absolutely wrong understanding. What happens even when you go to a temple? You are closing your eyes as soon as you enter the sanctum sanctorium and bow before the deity in front of the statue. What happens to you at that time? You are folding your hands and closing your eyes. What are you trying to perceive at that time? Deity for which you stood for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. In some temples, people stand there for 2-3 hours and you are pushed out within 1 minute moment you reach the center of it. You don't even have time to close eyes and open eyes. By the time you do this, you are thrown out. How will you understand that godliness? might as well stay home and reflect, meditate on this very precious entity without which there is no life at all. And moment our path is sacred, moment this Atman or the life force understands that my search is genuine and I am looking for that within myself, it showers us with happiness and joy. Moment we look for it outside, it understands that the path adopted is wrong. It can never shower peace and joy. If at all, it will be just surface spraying of water. You feel cool just a little bit, just because you bowed your head in front of someone. If you had not done it, you would remain afraid. Oh, I went there, I could not bow my head, I did not lit up the lamp. Why such a fear? Are you afraid of your father or mother when you love them so much? Then why be afraid of God? People are always afraid. If I don't do this, God might punish me. If I do this, God might reward me with something great. Maybe heaven, maybe success in exam, maybe a good job somewhere. What about those people who don't believe in God at all? In the Western countries, there are many atheists and they are also very successful. So the success is not on the outside agency, it's on you, on your hard work. You study like crazy, and there are some students who miss out on their studies and they don't work hard. They visit temple more than others, hoping that the deity will help you pass. It's too late. Anyway, boys and girls, please look after yourself, build a strong base, strong foundation through education, and more than education, make your moral muscles stronger. If your moral muscles are stronger, your progeny will also be stronger. Thank you.